It's looking so good. But it's looking nice. My skin looking good. You understand? It's Monday. It's a full moon. It's a harvest.
Oh, it's a full moon.
It's
Of
a full
all the
moon.
days, all you could have choose.
It's a full moon. It's a harvest moon. The vibes is nice.
What do you mean by harvest moon? Did you see?
Yes, it means the moon when we just pick the things. But yeah, there's harvest. Come on, get it together. What we doing here?
Hello.
Oh,
Good day. Never modern.
You know, Ollie, it's things. Happy Monday. And happy Calypso History Month. I am Tyker Giselle. This is Gerelle Forbes. Right now, we troubleshooting. Right now.
You think things change? No.
The more things change, the more they stay the same, boy. It's things. So, welcome to 2 Jammettes. We're doing a gorilla episode. Not gorilla as in gorilla as in
Not Harambe. Rest in peace.
and they don't want to be on the microphone, you know. And they don't want to be on the microphones. They want to say all the things. We are here to do a special episode to usher in Calypso History Month. Is it World Calypso History Month or just regular Calypso History
Just
Month?
regular.
Yes, apply to get a world day.
Yeah, and them go by the UN and ask the UN, please. But the
Right.
UN seem to be busy. So,
Yes,
you
they
know.
quite. So yes, it's Calypso History
Fail
Month.
to upload, you know. And what's how much percentage I have? All of we going
Wow.
nowhere fast.
Nowhere quickly. Send me the picture. Right, lovely. I have 20%. We are joined in studio by none other than Madam Director. Who they know to be on camera today.
She's still here earlier. She didn't give up on me.
The only DJ for the Jammettes Nation. The one and only. Your Hey! 1K! 1K Rex is in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
The girl love chocolate
Yeah,
milk.
them chocolate milk.
Tall
You're
glasses.
a tall glass.
But what's that?
Double champion of the group.
Not the double,
Get through from this show, Hardy.
not the doubles champion.
Get through.
Wanky has gained so much.
Yes, he has from this show.
Woo! Listen.
He's the only one who has succeeded from this show.
Listen to me. The all in the comments, welcome. Tell us if you can hear us, if you can see us.
Yeah,
and
let
if
me
you-
know if anything wrong
Yeah,
too.
boy.
Ooh,
It's
I'm
things.
hearing it in his speaker now, Wankasaurus.
It stinks.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
my gosh, we have Michael James in the chat.
Hi, Michael. Welcome
and
back,
Mel.
Jammettes Nation. You were missed.
Okay, Dion was getting some feedback. He's saying it's good now.
Right.
Maya O'Connor and Shania.
Look, the whole nation done start to come out.
Oh gosh, Allison is here.
All your shades on all your stories and things. That's
Papa,
nice.
it's
Look at
things.
all your.
So they're here with us.
All you actually like we.
Our Jammettes Nation.
Right,
We've
bad.
missed you all too,
We
Shania
have.
and Maya. We
We have.
missed really, turning up on a Sunday and turning up on a Sunday.
But for context,
Yes.
before the people feel we have just abandoned them, let us put into quick context what got us here. The company that Tyker and I have together. All right, the universe and the moon did what it had to do. The company that Tyker and I have decided to build and work on, we have a bag thing that we have planned out and had planned out for a 5-year period. We did not intend to start
A show.
a show. That part came by chance and was quite successful. But then when drunk or business, mind your sober, and we had to mind with business, with literal business, is why we had to take a little sabbatical.
A little break.
A break.
Little break. I'm hearing it gently, Shannon. I'm hearing it gently. Are you?
What's she hearing?
hear from the speaker. I had no headphones neither.
I'll let you all know that we are broadcasting from our own backyard.
I can put on the mic for that. I can put on my mic for that. I can put on my mic for that.
And that was one of the things that
Clock
was
it.
on the list of things that we wanted to get. You see, it's gonna stop to mind your
Business.
Mind your business. And so we did. And we've been behaving. We have not been in jail in the past 2.5 years.
Give thanks.
Tyker, have you been in jail?
No, I've not been to jail. I've been to jail, but not in jail.
Yes, you've been to jail a few times. But not in jail.
Not in jail.
You get bread? Remember we just talked about the bread?
I got bread once, but I have to put in my order for the next week.
You had to order bread now?
Yes, I have to order.
The first time you went was fish go on then.
You see how this time I was doing so good. So good.
Oh my god. But anyhow, right. So now we decided that Calypso History Month, and then all they want to leave black people alone when they see we on the road. Oh God, when I come back. Oh God, when I come back. Oh God, what are we doing? Whatever. So, we say Calypso History Month, we can run up on them. So this is the first one, and then we'll be here again next week.
Well, it means so sure about that. Somebody here is saying that Gerelle and Shannon's mic sounds louder than Tyker's. It's because they are louder than me.
Project.
They have bigger mouths. No pause. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Shannon, would you like to speak to the people, them?
Yes,
Say a
and
little
they
something.
Can't see you.
Oh, Shannon says her mic
What
was any
problem
problems.
is that?
Shannon is the problem in the backyard.
It's things. They're saying that we need more volume.
Tell me now.
Causing problems
Wow, that's crazy.
under the
People in the chat, what we saying? How are
full
singing? What going on? What are they singing?
Shannon causing problems
Wow, that's crazy.
in the backyard.
That's crazy.
Shannon caused the man problems under the full
Which man?
moon.
Wonky because he had to sort out the technical difficulties. We also, as we have a technical difficulty, we also need to shout out Ananias, our nephew.
Oh, big up nephew. Bust two for nephew. Popo.
Hey.
Yeah, always bust two for nephew. And we can start to advertise and promote things. Look at we. Sharifa, Melorifa is having a show coming up. When is the show, boy? Soon, next week, this Saturday. Oh gosh, I need to know. I'm hosting it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh gosh, all you know the show. If you know the show, say when it is in the group, in the where does call it in the comment.
The chat. What is Kaisen? They say chat. Tell
It's
us.
Saturday 11. You know, I never watch them. Saturday 11th of October. Samsara is the name of the event at Cafe Blues. Doors open 8. Showtime is 9. And of course, you're gonna get Melorifa, Sharifa, Salman. Mother didn't invite me to the little baptism
And
that they
look,
had.
the picture, just a moment for some housekeeping.
Yeah, housekeeping. Let's go.
So the picture that is the thumbnail. No. All right. How you mean?
Angle.
Let me see.
Angle.
No, I just want to see what angle it's in right now.
Or eyes the problem, of course.
Yo.
Tyker don't know how
No,
to
this
talk
is not
in
how
the
it's
mic.
supposed to be. This is how wonky set up it is.
Tyker don't know how to sing on
Wonky,
the mic.
and this is how you say? Right. I just listen to
It's
instructions. You know.
Calypso
Anyhow.
History Month.
So you
And
look at this.
Tyker run and she mount.
Hey.
But she not doing it right on the mic. Right. What is it?
This was the old picture, right? Look at the jacket and my hands in the air. Right? So the new picture, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is the jacket with my hands in the air, the sweater with my hands in the air. Ain't that something?
That is
when you
something.
share it.
What do you call it? Serendipity?
Yes, because watch.
Or obia?
Obia.
Oh, yeah. Watch
They walking no, yeah.
Watch them. Shout out Terry Lyons. No, I just would like to say that we should go in hot. Let's go in hot.
No, not too hard, guys. We just began.
We just began. We go. For August, Calypso History Month, I would like to congratulate Pan.
October, baby.
I'm sorry.
Two different thoughts.
No. For August, for Steel Pan Month.
There we go. There we go. You got there.
I would like to congratulate Pantrin Bago
For keeping the thing
on
pumping.
the way they does go hard for the whole month of August. And not just Pantrin Bago. Actually, Pantrin Bago shouldn't get a laugh for. Let me take that back.
The bands.
The entire Silpan community and fraternity. All it does go real hard for August, right? And I tell myself, oh, nice. This August 2025 was a beautiful run in the Silpan world. All you go on and boo the culture minister on World Silpan Day in the University of Woodford Square. Now she's upset with the nation, or at least Pan people. But all that's in it. Pan man and Jammettes woman never afraid of politician yet, right? I reach October. Now, while I may be not outside like Cardi B,
Right.
have you been hearing anything about Calypso History Month?
From people posted on the internet and their like personal profiles and stuff.
Question. Is Tuko still responsible for Calypso?
I don't know. Let's check.
All right. I want to know if they are still the governing body. You know, Pan Tremego is the governing body for Pan. I would like to know if. No, that is tutor. Tuko. What Tuko is again?
Trinbago Unified Calypsonians Organization.
Are they? Yeah, I want to know what's going on. I haven't seen it, but you know what?
Well,
I'm
you
gonna be
don't
fair.
follow
I
them.
don't follow them. Let me be fair. I also don't follow Pandra Mego page.
Okay.
Sure.
No, I'm seeing that we have a workshop.
So they don't have a calendar of events for October?
No, not here. They have a video of the minister, video of the president. They had a Thanksgiving service.
When was that?
It's 5 days ago. You know, anyway, much more. 4 days. They have a video celebrating Calypso History Month.
Maybe slide in the DM and tell them and inform them. Maybe they don't know October has started.
No, they posted a quiz 3 days ago. Calypso History Month. Can you name this tune and the Calypsonian singing it?
What is this tune? Let me see.
They
if I can
give you
play
the
game.
lyrics. Robbery crapo say you robbed me. I dress up lovely. Mr. Pig, somebody should shoot you. Come in here with a corkscrew. Is now common dog starter back. Call monkey a sex maniac. Pig say if it's sex I must be in line. Donkey have the goods, but donkey can't whine. Drop your answer in the comments.
Me know that. Where's that? Use that guy so good. That your people's.
It's Mighty Sparrow. The name of the song is Donkey Can't Whine. And then this person in the comments says, note on the lyrics. The song goes, somebody should shoot you. Come in here with a corkscrew. Yeah.
Not somebody correcting the governing body for Kaiso on the page while they were.
So they kicked off Calypso History Month with a moving Thanksgiving service on Wednesday, October the 1st.
Because what is Kaiso without a little Jesus?
This year's theme is Calypso Unleashed. Boundless Harmonies. That's what it is.
Well, congratulations to whatever plans they have for October. Are any of the radio stations doing, you just travel and listen to radio and think, oh, a radio?
No, it's Christmas.
Oh!
It's Christmas.
Well, all right.
There's a lot of parang, which I love. I love that there's parang.
I mean, parang season has started.
Yeah.
But parang season is going to go all the way up into January. So I feel like we could get a little Octobes.
Yeah. They have a picture here. Did you know Calypso started as a voice of resistance and social commentary, shaping the way we see ourselves as people? But that's NCC posting it. What's happening over there?
Mischief.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right.
NCC is doing the posting and adding Tuko as a collaborator. So they haven't posted. TT Consulate of Toronto, they posted adding Tuko as a collaborator.
Okay. What? Forbes.
Yeah. Ooh, look, they have a story. Calypsonians call for their own museum. CNC3. San Fernando Calypsonians are renewing their call for the creation of a permanent Calypso museum to celebrate and preserve Trinidad and Tobago's musical and cultural heritage.
What does that mean?
With Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar now in charge of the National Trust, they are hopeful that a permanent archival space could soon become part of the city's cultural landscape. It's a blurb, you know. It's a blurb. So, you know, happy Calypso History Month. And so, as part of our responsibility here in Jammettes Yard, we have decided that we're gonna come here randomly on a Monday and kick the ball rolling in terms of celebrating ourselves, i.e. Trinidad and Tobago, and even of the islands as well, because we have inspired our peers all through the Caribbean.
Shout out to Grenada.
Yes.
It's in the last 2 years, the jobs on them been taking over the Calypso sounds. Well, the soca in this regard. Although job is a very interesting thing, it kind of leans to both. I have been in a when was this is 2025, last year 2024. For last year's Dimanche Gras, when Mr. Montano decided to re-enter the Calypso competition, at the end of the competition in the broadcasting, in the last few seconds of broadcasting, someone sent a comment to the station broadcast asking if soca is Calypso. And it was only like 10 seconds to go. And it really irritated me that Trinis are still asking this. That Trinis are asking this question. And so I realized, since then, that's 2 years now, I have been on high alert listening to people's conversations around Calypso. And you realize how really lost people are and how don't care they are and how the thoughts around it are very meh. And Exhibit A, everything that was just in whatever story Tyker just read. Because what does that mean? What are you asking for? What are you working towards? I don't get that sense.
So you have a plan. What is the strategy?
And
what
right
is
now,
the vision?
I'm not sure if back on the ground, when you are interacting with people of the industry, that specific industry, I'm not getting a sense anymore that they are aware of what that traditional character's role and responsibility is. And that's unfortunate. I feel like the competition really has
ruined the thing.
I mean, we knew it was coming, but now you're seeing it. There's really evidence of that. And so I've been looking for Calypso things this month and not finding it. A lot of Parang, big up yourself, Parang. Because Parang has been the bastard child for years now. But Parang catching his own. And it's a really beautiful and growing community. But Kai, so what is going on?
Yeah, they're lagging behind, you know.
And now it's so not a good time. Because reggae artists, for example, are considering Calypso, while Calypsonians and the people of the country don't seem to be aware or care of the art form. That's wild.
Yes. But their favorite said it, we like it, so.
Who is the favorite?
Sparrow.
Yes, that seems. Oh, then that's the other thing that is trigger me. Every time it's Calypso History Month, the only calypsonian that we know. Oh my God.
You might just, but I'll just be glad for Winsford to get a little blind because
You know Winsford getting money?
he
Or his
get-
estate
estate
getting
not
money?
getting money. But for me, I just be like, I feel like it's his words now, so his spirit lives
Then
on.
there are
you know?
all these scripts emerging in the theater world around Sparrow. I have come across at least 3 scripts within the last 2 years. One was in is it running this weekend or it ended yesterday?
No, it ended yesterday, but that's an old script.
But that's
from
an old
the
one,
80s,
yeah. I know that.
which was part of a trilogy.
Right. But I've seen 3 other scripts pass through. And every year for October, we come to Calypso History Month, and it seems like the Mighty Sparrow is the only Calypsonian that we know. Gentle reminder that man is Grenadian.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel as Trinbagonians, we're also doing an injustice to ourselves. Again, that self-it's still running. We've been away and all is still doing shit. Okay.
Yeah, but also a lot of the men is getting forward too.
What do you mean?
They don't play the female calypsonians except Rose.
Tita the only one they know.
Yeah.
And Sandra.
No, they just play one song from Sandra.
Die with My Dignity.
Die with My Dignity.
Oh,
There's-
yeah.
They
don't play that.
voices.
They won't
will
play voices.
ancient rhythms, maybe.
Because they're too slow voices. Somebody get too slow.
yeah, it's a dang,
Too slow for Hudson.
Bam. Yeah.
Beautiful, right? One of my favorite. Right, like you just read that as a poem, boy. It's gorgeous, really, really beautiful. That's voices from the ghetto.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know. So I would like to. I've been spending the time within the last 2 years revisiting what I have learned, Calypso 2B, and reapproaching it as though I don't know it at all, and trying to figure out how to translate that as though you're talking to non-performers, non-musicians. One of the first things that I remembered was at UWI doing the drumology course. The late Straker. You said you met Straker. You know Straker? It was you, Shannon. You had Straker. Straker was a drummer. He's from Tobago and used to teach drumology. And so he was a very problematic teacher too, but he was a good teacher. Problematic because don't ask him where he sources, why, how, what, because then he goes start a quarrel and buffet. Right?
Yes.
So me and Shrek used to fight all the time because I was a girl who I always with a wine. And he used to have issues in his class when he would jump up and bowl what? It has some men out here who call it Igbo rhythm, this rhythm, and it's not this rhythm, it's something else, and and he will spend 10 minutes quarreling, and then he'll be like, so how we would know which is which? By telling you which is which, but then somebody else also said this, it was, so how do we know, like, what
How do we
trace it back to?
differentiate? And can you teach it so
He
we'll know?
couldn't. And it's only from his reputation in the industry I realized he was very respected. But me initially interacting with him as a student and teacher, I didn't feel like I was, because he's also the one telling me other people telling me the wrong thing. So how do I know what is the right thing? And that became a thing, right? Anyhow, there I remember learning from him. You have all these African tribes that would have had, the different rhythms and the way they would send messages through drums. And so all rhythms link back to drums some way or the other. And so before we look to the calypsonian or the singer to define the rhythm that is calypso, we really need to look at our drummers and our folk dancers. And we all know the calypso rhythm, but we don't know it by its name, the calypso rhythm. And that rhythm that I'm so certain you all know is where you have the 2 congas or the 2 bongos. One would be smaller than the other, just a smidget. And smaller the drum, the higher the pitch. Larger the drum, the deeper the pitch. And so that rhythm that you're accustomed hearing in rhythm sections or That's the calypso rhythm. Slow it down. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the calypso rhythm. Listen to any calypso now, any kaiso, Sheena, Ajibola, she does call it pungulung pungulung. If you run it slow, tukung kung kutung tukung kung kutung 5, 6, bada 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 bada. Like Elon Francis can have BPM so. Good night, Quiz Box Savannah. What's the song? I can't remember. Or even if you have to go slower into like humorous calypso, let's look at Trinidad Rio. You know he liked to drag a song. But he wanted to listen to every
big wood man. The big wood man.
Oh,
I'm
no
going
draws.
back to basics. Get us something from something. I'm going back to basics. It stings.
So, basic of it all. Let me start with the basics there. The calypso rhythm. Guys, you know the rhythm. If you're taking it fast, it's any soca. If you're a big truck, shut down. That's the bridge, right? Cool. Right it up, and down. Cricket. What we hear in any stand? Football. What we hear in any stand? That is our rhythm that is literally carry us through everything. If we protested out on the road,
We want money
right now. Your back on me clothes and
It goes right
This
back.
is why it
It
just
goes
blows
right
my
back.
mind that Trinidad will argue with you.
We
They
can
own,
go-
it's like a fingerprint.
And then they
everything
have
that
the
is do.
like variations. So like you have the bum 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 bum. Kewan, see, we want a goal.
Yeah, but I just see a trophy.
Yeah.
So my time is Hey.
Because they have all the different drums.
There you go. There you go. So we basic. You know what the calypso rhythm is.
And you know, so much music that's come in my head when I tell you, but this song from Rupi, can't even the voices and say so many times.
She making this up?
No, that's a Rupi song. Left choices and say, that's when he sang a song about so because you never know this could be your last. Give thanks and praise. Such festival day, left voices and say so
I
many
know the song. Okay. Differently.
Literally the same rhythm. Literally the same rhythm.
Because it's
And that's
calypso.
Barbados.
It's calypso.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the comments saying? Them know? Or they don't know that?
No, them ain't saying nothing that much in the show. They stop talking a little while now.
Wow.
When you go up here, I stay up. Alison says she sing Voices is one of her favorite songs to sing in
Beautifully written
karaoke.
song.
Alison said no, there's not enough ads about it. I'm guessing about Calypso History Month in terms of promoting it and having a series of events. But I will also say to add on to that too is there must be that there was vision for what you want to do with PAN, and so the people who are the administrators in the organization that leads PAN would say, right, this is what we want to do in this amount of time,
Right.
in order for the populace to be involved in the celebration of our national instrument.
Or at least have a plan of what you're trying to get to.
So, on the other hand, I don't think that there's a plan. I think the only plan we have is the Mashgra. And I shouldn't say we because I'm not in that.
Yeah.
The only plan that they have is the competition. Which is why calypsonians like Stacey Sobers
was like, nah, I'm not really on that vibes right now. I'm gonna have my own event
Stacey
outside
Sober
of.
seems to be the only calypsonian. Full stop. That's the end of the sentence. And here why I'm saying it like
Oh
that. Yeah?
gosh.
Because Stacey, outside of the competition, who are the calypsonians that are fulfilling the roles and responsibility of the title calypsonian throughout the year?
Yes. Congrats to her. Congrats to you, Stacey.
She just had a show.
A sold out show.
Beautiful.
I heard Sandra Bank was ram out. So big up to you.
And leading up to the show, she was in something else too. Like, she's been busy since
Yes.
the season ended.
So she had crackers and cheese, which is her event, and then she was in somebody else's thing. So shouts to her because and I was telling someone this a couple months ago, 159, that you cannot you cannot want to say that you are calypsonian and you only exist within this little box that is the competition. Who are you outside of the competition? Does your audience know who you are? And so you lack a certain level of freedom because you are held by the bounds of the rubric. The rubric, which is shit.
Which, in case some of y'all don't know, there's
A.G. Christopher said the Rupee song is named Festival. Go.
What the public thinks the judge it is for the competition is one thing.
It's not.
But then there are
the actual
unwritten cultural laws that the calypsonians fearfully honor because they complain about it each and every year. And since I was a child, I hear them complaining about it.
Yes.
Yeah, because they still abide by those invisible rules because you want to see the competition.
Yeah, because they want to vie for the crown.
The crown.
And I think that's also the issue we have when it comes to supporting our sportsmen, because we want a prize, we want to win a thing.
But the value of the prize don't mean anything now?
No. So for me, it's like, okay, we working towards getting a goal, right? A GOLD, we getting gold. But what is the lead up to? The lead up to that is all the meets, all the different events that you have to go to in order to qualify for World Championships, to qualify for Pan Am, to qualify for the Olympics. And one thing, it all feeds into each other. But you have to get support for each level. So primary school, secondary school, going into your feeder program for universities. If you're going to go to college, if you're going to go on a scholarship, if you're paying your own way, then that feeds into being independent. What is the sponsorship like? Are you doing your own thing? Are you selling soccer bag and
most times the sports, they already have you working on like a plan B.
Yes,
because injuries
because
can
you
just
also
mess everything up.
Yeah, you also have to understand what your how you're gonna sustain your career. And there's life post being an athlete. So is it that my mic went out? Okay. I heard a pop. So it's also, I mean, I must talk about it. It's our first episode back. Atto Boland. Also, love you. Hi bestie. Hey bestie. He was trained in media and communication.
Right.
So he could hold his own at NBC and win an Emmy. In being a presenter and being able to be an experienced track athlete, to be able to answer questions and hold conversations with other experts on how this race was run.
No, in an ideal entertainment industry though.
But you must have the support
That's
from
part
all the
of
things.
what your management's supposed to do,
Yes.
not just Calypso in general.
And you're not only preparing for competition while you are preparing for competition. Yes, you're also learning how to speak properly. You get media training. You're learning how to carry yourself. You're learning how to work in teams, work with others. Yes, when we are on the track, we both trying to get the winning position. We're trying to get to the top of the podium. But when the race done, we good, we cool.
And also, I'd say this: the difference, though, between the sport and the entertainment industry in that example, specific example, is in the sport world, the athletes are their own community,
Yes.
and the people who do all the behind the scenes work leading up to that is not a part of that community. Most times, like volunteers or like younger athletes you get on or whatever, right? Cool. In the entertainment world, however, the performer is part of a much larger production community. So you have your stage management, your musicians, your lighting, your audio guys, your set design, your writers, your producers, all of that make up what any show is, competition or not. So we have the competition, the Dimash Grand, and we also have tents. Specific to Calypso, I am trying my hardest, yes or no, to really understand the mind of, because it feels like two separate things. The Calypsonian I am and continue to learn and study, and then what I'm faced with in reality. And in reality, the Calypsonians are only about themselves, which contradicts the Calypso study that we did when we did, because we did an episode on Calypsonians between the 90 something episodes we have. And the role and responsibility, because they were the readers, they were the um, philosophers who were thinking of things and archiving it and writing and having these conversations and with each other before you put it in pen, and
Yeah.
you went out in the town or you went in one half of the country and you come back in the barrack, yeah, 2 days after you have seen things, you see the bill or something, they do or something, and you come back in the barrack yard and you got everybody with your guitar and you tell them what you see or you had an experience, or there's a grassroots about it that goes far beyond attending events, dressing up nice, attending events, taking pictures, shaking hands. So we have now the Calypsonians who only compete and don't do nothing else for the rest of the year. But then there's also, what is your role in the production part of it? Soca is not as good as, but it's much better than the Calypso world.
In terms of working in
Understanding
teams,
everybody around who that you need
The
other people
support
around.
staff.
Yeah, whether you treat them respectfully is something else.
Yeah.
But they understand that they need them, because for you to be this glamorous and be the one, your name in the bright lights behind, somebody had to put on them lights.
Yeah.
Somebody had to put the spotlight on you during your performance. Somebody had to, you know what I mean? I can't. The last Calypsonian who I have seen probably genuinely interact, oh, I've never seen them I was going to say genuinely interact with crew, for example, even if it's just for competition. No.
No, because
They don't
everybody
care.
is very it's very cliquish.
Yeah.
It is very cliquish, and we're not saying that, for example, I mean, I have not always, but the nearest thing that is a bastard child in this place is sport. So that's why I would compare and contrast. So you have the Jamaicans, you have the Grenadians, you have the Trinis, and you have the Americans. Now you have like African nations coming in, South Africa, in terms of track and field events, right? The Americans are very boastful. They're very like, we are the greatest. Da 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 da. Da. The female American runners are more like cool and friendly with the Jamaican women. Like they actually, like they have a nice little rapport. They actually inspire each other to run faster. Da 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 da. The American men are not so much friendly. They kind of standoffish and they have a kind of attitude, and I'm not a fan. Anyway, whereas the Jamaicans are very cool with everybody else.
Right.
So they while they have their cliques, they also work together, because a lot of them train in the same places,
Right.
or have the same coaches.
And then culture is contributing to this too. 'Cause
Yes.
Caribbean people are,
We are amazing and friendly, and everybody loves us, and we are so exotic and all this jazz. So there are cliques, there are little groups and separations or whatever. But at the end of the day, everybody understands everybody's role. So you talk about volunteers, yes, but you also talk about sports staff in terms of the chiropractors, the people who do massages, the people who make the drinks and make sure that they are fueled. Of course, the medics, the people who doing the testing, because they have to be tested before every race. The people who pin in their numbers onto them or their names or whatever.
You really get a sense of it when you look at countries prepare for the Olympics.
Yeah, so that is vast. Like, we know we're here to compete, but what I think is the thing is there are so many people who, even though you may have like, oh my gosh, I'm rooting for this team or this person in this race, I am non-partisan. Whereas in Trinidad, when it's the March Gras, the NCC workers they already know whose side they're on, and they will
like just across the gate to enter this be a scene.
And then you have your
and this is just NCC workers and
they
Tuco hired staff who do.
And remember, there's a bacchanal between the two of this is not Tuco place, this is NCC. The Savannah is NCC own.
Quotes so that you would get trying to enter as a performer.
So there's that.
Quotes.
And it's not we are all here for the benefit of Trinidad and Tobago's culture, but rather I am a fan of this calypsonian, or this calypsonian paid me to
$500 because they refuse to pay more than
this calypsonian paid me to sabotage somebody else's performance.
Still a very real thing.
So it's not about the greater good of the art form, because when you go to the Olympics, it's the greater good of sport, or Paralympics, the greater good of the sport, and of making sure that younger people are inspired to come and join
towards
this common goal, which is to get more people involved in sport.
Definitely not the feeling.
Whereas in Calypso, that is not it.
And if you are going to say that, okay, your only focus is the March Gras, as the only thing is put effort in, I can't even say put effort in, because
the only thing is put money behind.
That's it, because let's plan the March Gras the week before. Even if that is going to be the only thing, but then at least do that at the best you could now. At the very least.
No. I think because of so much internal ruckus and how much bubble and all of the infighting and the structures that were allowed to exist in the space for so long and to fester, there is a disconnect between the culture growing and the people who are the stewards or supposed to be the stewards of this thing.
And then,
which is very challenging as an outsider looking at it.
When the competition is done, I mean, okay,
you will
sport or otherwise,
you'll get 2 days of rants on Facebook with people telling you point by point what went wrong and what needs to be fixed.
No, this is the difference between just the day before in Panorama.
Yeah.
Who win this year?
Who win more?
Oh, Exo. We're in 2025. Okay. Yeah, who knows what's the
year? She's like, who win? And I'm like, who win what? Dimash or, or
Pan.
EXO could win. No.
Yeah.
And the other bands will go to Exodus Yard and celebrate with them.
Yeah.
Yes, know what I mean?
Yeah.
During the competition, we very bye.
Yeah.
But as soon as we done play,
band number 12.
It's done. We're done. Jersey off. We're back to normal.
Yeah.
And Pan people will interact with each other. Like, in fact, every year there's something called companion sports, or commonly Pan sports. It goes on for weeks where bands have these friendly games of all fours, cricket, football, and it's like tournament style, and lead up to one big family day / sports day type thing. That happens right after Panorama. That aside, there is now a very common boat ride called Rep Your Band that's been going on for years too.
Yeah.
And to the point where Rep Your Band have a New York branch. Right? It's a boat ride. It's a boat ride for Pan people. And you just come out in your Pan jersey. Whichever band you're repping, and all of we drinking, we rum together.
Yeah.
Beautiful, I think. That's very beautiful, very powerful, especially considering that Pan is gangsters. We start off as gangsters.
And also the fact that as we going back and forth all phase, we're going to have a little bacchanal in this season.
We're still going. We people still go. Pan people have we little joys, we little thing, but we own and we operate on our we.
Yeah.
For the history of pan people to be so aggressive to each other and quite frankly hating each other because of gang wars versus the intellects, the thinkers, the writers, the readers, that is the calypsonian, then what you do?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
all you doing?
Yeah.
And this have nothing to do with performance. We're not even talking performance. We're talking just where is the calypsonian?
Yeah, for me, I think, I mean, I hear Soupy in my head constantly talking about, competition being the death of the calypsonian, and really understanding that, he had his show that he would do in the year, Vintage for So, Vintage Calypso being, or Vintage Calypso rather, being a term he coined, and just it's so interesting to realize that there are no calypso events, or there are very few calypso events in this space.
I sent something to your phone. Excuse me, sir. Could you accept this so I can get it, please? Sorry, pumpkin.
No, I'm studying that you have
1% fighting strong, right?
Did just I struggle to identify events. I'm struggling to identify who exists outside of January, February, and if the season is long, March.
Stacey Sobers is the only name coming to mind right now as in the role of calypsonian. Who is this?
It's okay. No.
Okay, cool.
It's
You
okay.
know who she was?
Yes. Yeah. I know, but I don't want to give it airtime. You understand? Yeah, no, this is my Monday.
But it's not just doing a show, because then that's for you.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not in the role of
That's not in the role
calypsonian.
of calypsonian. That is an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Jazz artists does have a show once a year.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody does have a show once a year. Outside of your show, where I mean, Twiggy,
Who's that?
she was singing Belmont Freetown, Calypsonian Twiggy. She's been still singing. She's been performing outside of the season.
No, but in the context of calypsonian, because that's what you said,
Yeah, in the context of as a calypsonian still performing. Or you mean like the roles beyond that?
Yeah.
Beyond perform. Oh, well, nobody doing roles beyond that.
Which then brings me to oh gosh, I had the person and they going out of my head,
Sorry.
Oh jeez, and yeah, we'll find it back. Yeah. Oh, Ozzy Marique is
He's
doing.
been actively doing
doing
stuff since
actively
last
doing.
year.
So I would say Ozzy, but Ozzy is
He's a
also.
rhapsodian.
Just want to say he's not a calypsonian.
calypsonian,
He's a rhapso man who also has sung a calypso
And a rhapso in the grave.
too. And we don't have any
Who
rhapso
don't
artists
have
except
rhapso artists and they're not putting out music.
except Ozzy, really. And Ozzy ain't put out music in a minute. Atas and putting out the music. Tricanal put out music
They had something the other day. Atakan had something the
with
other day.
Ozzy.
Right.
So, which is what I like.
Tricanal still doing music, not as much, but I mean, they've invested decades, so.
Yeah,
Them
they can
men-
take a rest.
Yeah.
I mean, now we don't have a Kini anymore, So,
Salcedo.
like, Sal is not a rhapso artist.
No, he's an artist.
Yeah, he's a madman.
He go decide, all right, I'm gonna paint now earlier,
Yeah.
or I'm gonna act now earlier, or when he decides to do music, he will get a rap, so
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
Tricanal-esque vibe.
I don't want us to get pulled down off the internet, but you all need to go and search for Gazette when the trumpet blew.
Yeah,
Amazing song.
Yeah.
Start your day with that kind of energy,
yeah.
right?
But yeah, I can't. Beyond Ozzy doing a bi-monthly event, I don't know.
And he's been trying so hard with these events.
So I mean, and most
Every month.
so Ozzy did a thing. He did something with Shannon Bailey. Did this thing with Atas. General Grant.
Yeah.
General Grant.
Remy is a good one, although Remy has gone quiet within the last few months, but he was doing a lot of things. And it's actually, you know what? Remy is an excellent example.
This person is saying with his shorts.
Yes. Something that happened in the news today.
He had a
And
buttons
by
out.
tomorrow, I upload it.
Yeah, buttons outside.
Red Bunction is an active calypsonian.
Yeah. Yeah, he's actually doing the work.
But not in the traditional form of go and sing
Yeah.
calypso. Sing it.
Yes, Dominic, Christopher, look us. That's crazy. Dion is saying Ataclan puts up music annually but hasn't gotten much traction. What Atos is also doing is painting. Atos had a whole what's called this exhibition.
Which
5 months ago.
eventually the culture that the
Hi,
very
Nicole.
calypsonians have created does turn them away. They're expiring themselves. They build careers in other things. Maria Bola, really great calypsonian, humorous calypsonian.
She's make more money making bags.
She's a designer now, Miss Ladies on
Bags,
clothes, earrings. She's full designer with her bold designs. The
Yeah.
rat-tat on, the product. Like, she's like, all in the sky. So thing, all
But she's also making money from writing Kaiso for people too.
Which is another point. And I know a lot of calypsonians love to argue this point because they feel they could compare themselves to like people like Beyonce and all these other big acts. Let me explain something to you. Right? What outside people do, especially American people, is not with business. And you shouldn't have to explain this to a calypsonian. Your role is your role is your role. Your role and responsibility is your role and responsibility. You are further making the point by becoming the type of people who only perform or write or do whatever for a competition. So outside a competition, because the argument is, well, no, people can write, artists are writers, cool. But these artists are created for an industry, earning profitable capitalistic industry, right? Before our calypso end up anything industry, it was our art form first. So where's your responsibility there? So why have so much alleged calypsonians who don't write?
Yeah.
All the calypsos for the past 5-10 years is the same handful of writers. If it have 50 calypsos for the season, all 50 write by the same 4 people.
And there's the calypsos that get recorded.
Yeah, because most don't get recorded. Most don't get recorded.
I remember a long time ago,
God.
in the tenure of Mr. Legaton, Michael Legaton, there was a talk that that they would create a studio, build a studio where calypsonians could come and record their music at a fraction of the cost that they would get
The
it.
day she talking about is the same governing organization.
Yes.
That is the day she talking about.
So that was the talk, and that they was looking at different places to build land and all these things. Not to build land, but to build a thing on some land. And I am now in my 30s.
You quick up in our studio. You almost finished your studio. You almost finished building your studio.
I just want to say that I find it very interesting when you don't empower your membership.
Yeah.
And I know that publicly I have said many a thing about the organization. I will continue to, because I will say this, I bash the Emancipation Support Committee enough. And I see they're doing things this year.
I used to fight on them pan people and the people on them radio, so not they had this stuff together too. And you say, real, not care about all the youth bands. But that is the role. I know my role as a Jammettes. Why you don't know your role as a calypsonian? Know your place.
Hi, Conrad. Yes, we know.
Yes.
Then I'm no other.
He's a sweetheart. He's a darling. Conrad, if anybody ever do anything, just tell them it are 2 Jammettes, Although you say, man, no plenty, but we will leave
Yeah,
that for
yeah,
next
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a whole lot of show.
Yeah. How would I say them? Right?
But in the dissection of the thing, if we're going back to the roots, right? We talk about the beat, the rhythm, we talk about the drum, we talk about what the role and responsibility is of the calypsonian. And now that we are in the 21st century, how does that role evolve? How does it change? How does it adjust? How does it
I don't think they're at the stage right now for evolution just yet. I think in order for the art form to the art form soil to become fertile again, we need to go back. And not because of I mean, it's for two reasons. One, you need to now educate the younger ones coming up who, as recent as today, introducing calypso to standard 3s, 4s, and 5s, who when you ask them what is calypso, they couldn't tell you, right? After introducing it to them, and an hour later, they glued so. They're singing refrains, they don't catch on to it, because it's not a difficult thing, especially if it's part of your identity. And this narrative that is being fed to us that it's so boring that nobody care about it, that I beg to differ, because from the time you start talking about a calypso with anybody of any generation, you're bound to hook them somewhere.
Yeah, I would say this. When I went to Montreal this year with Bem and Freetown to perform, it was very interesting. My baby seeing me rehearse my piece over and over and over. So every night we come home from rehearsal, they're singing Swoop, Dive, Move and Dance. They're singing Flag, Woman, Do Your Duty, because I singing it in the piece.
Monologue,
so they're singing it and reciting it. And
Memories was also in that monologue too.
no, that was this year.
Oh, this is one last year.
This is the one from last year. So I'm singing Flag Woman. I'm singing, and I had Blakey, Steel Band Clash. So they wait, because there's a million of us in one apartment, so you have to wait a bed. So while they're waiting to bed, they're singing in the hall. They're singing the songs.
Ken was doing that with the laugh ways.
Yes. And so getting it into the ethos. And so now the little ones singing brown skin girl, and they're singing Adriana oh Mong Bella Bella no, which is a song from the Tambu Bamboo bands and the ragtime bands, and then they're singing 5 o'clock in the morning, they're singing 5 in the morning, they're singing no woman no afraid, no barman, and they're singing what they like CC Mariah, we on the air, you cannot knock. CC Mariah, CC Mariah. One boy, one gal. They like the cambulele, one boy, one gal.
Yeah,
I just said girl or gal, not gal. And they were so engaged.
So today I only introduced them to Kaiso. And I guess if we have time, we could break down that, or we could save that for next week. Anyway, and the Kaisos that I exposed them to was the Trinidad Rio No Draws, which is why that was so fresh in my mind from earlier. Singing Sandra's Die With My Dignity as an introduction to social commentary. Crow Chop the Hand. Oh, they love the Chop the Hand because the Chop the Hand interacted with them at a child level.
Yeah.
Because they have the pressures of SCA and CXC and all these things. And so they understood that. And so, telling them, well, there was this, little Indian girl who got 5 distinctions one year, and she was she placed the highest in the country, and everyone was like, okay, yeah. The only thing is she had no hands. That's when they get the reactions of, what?
Yeah.
That's how she do that. She used to put the pen on her toes and write.
She writes the exam with her feet.
And so the Calypsonian archived that story, with the song. And we had the song to play. And before the second chorus could come back around, they were already singing the refrain that Crow have in his song.
Chop off their hand.
It's too easy for us to pick it up. The art form itself is too easy for us to have the soil so dry. It's parched. before we could think of evolution in the future, everybody needs to go back, including who claim to be Calypsonians now. Everybody needs to sanko for this bitch and go all the way back. Know where you come from. Revisit who you are. What is your role? Who is the Calypsonian? What is his or her role and function in the society? What did us do? Who, what, where, how, why? All of it.
Answering those questions.
All of it. Before you could get into the work. Because how you know what the work is? Or they just one title. That's the problem.
Yeah, and also that you've said it there that there's a timestamp. That's how we marked time by the calypsos that were in the space.
Yeah.
In the last 10 years, there have not been any calypsos that
No.
you could say, well, this marked
Nothing
a
has
time.
happened. Nothing has happened in this country in the last 10 years that was exciting to Calypsonians to pick up the pen and write about it. Just for a quick fun. Nothing. Nothing. 12 months and nothing gone. For the last, 12 by 12 by 12, let me say a decade. Nothing else. Only thing is PNM UNC. Government do this, them do that. Well, anyhow, plenty of them Calypsonians going to be very quiet now because
Yeah.
I'm going to say the party not in power.
I would say this as well, too.
I'm very curious to see the next Dimanche Grand, how all going to come out and sing about anti-cams. Now, don't let this yellow table fool you.
We
This
have
is
no.
Jammettes yellow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Jammettes,
we
yeah.
don't, it's no party that we just associate with. Because
Jammette party.
everybody mother, right? Every ball all on shit. Don't let this yellow confuse you. You know, they like to run and say, she's a nothing. She's a Jammette. Say that. What she said?
And everybody know.
Shannon is making fun of me, guys.
Are we?
She bullies me. I'm telling you.
Oh God.
Wow.
I know happening.
Was that me?
That was me?
But I didn't touch nothing. Look how far away I am.
Mr. Wankosaurus Rex, I have hijacked your cellular device. Can you unlock it, please? I don't know your password.
So
and
she
let your
could
birds,
see.
wanky birds, don't message him. I have his phone.
No, I could message.
No, I don't want to see
She not
nothing.
gonna reply.
I don't want to see nothing. You come down and scream. Okay. So what I'm presenting here to all you real quick, I expanded on my lesson plan for the next few weeks, knowing that we were gonna do this. And I also, we doesn't want to just be crawling. People must be walking away with some sort of
Something.
information, right? One of the other things I've observed, rather, is that Calypso separation. And people not quite understanding that's why I started with the Calypso rhythm. And that's the rhythm that birthed so many subgenres, right? Calypso being one. I have broken down, and I try to break it because I'm dealing with primary school. So my headspace is always how you could translate this to a child, and most adults at that level thinking now in this place, right? So Calypso, we're gonna do quickly Calypso, soca, lavway, extempo. 4 subgenres, right? Calypso, soca, lavway, extempo. And I did Calypso and soca because Trini seemed to not understand the difference between them and its role and purpose. So the same we were just discussing, what is the role and responsibilities of the Calypsonian. Now I wanna quickly touch for understanding or edutainment's sake the role and responsibilities of the genres in its context, right? So Calypso is how we share think pieces with our music. Or as the saying goes, through Calypsos our stories are told. The music's objective is to invoke active listening from its audience. The Calypso can be humorous or political commentary, or it can be documenting history, or it can just be an opinion sung out loud. The point is, a Calypso is like a think piece. The way somebody would write an article to the newspapers, this is my thoughts on this. And give me some paragraphs, print it, and other people are interested in reading that. It's that same concept of I'm just allowing my stream of consciousness to flow, but I'm adding a melody to it. Active, and your objective with the listeners is for active listening. So Kaisos will go to a tent for. I want to go in and I will need good audio. I need good audio. When I go to the tent or any event in Trinidad and Tobago, I would like to get good audio. Right?
I'd like to get audio.
I like to get audio.
That's audio.
Can we
in
leave
general.
feedback home? It's 2025.
Yeah, boy.
Can we leave feedback home?
Big up Raj
Yeah,
one
big up yourself,
time.
Raj.
What is this?
Take a break. Take a break. Wanky, do even better. Just leave it. Wanky, just leave it. Wanky, the way the... No, it's the empty pack. It's two empty pack. Wanky, the way the day set up. Just leave it. The full moon in, right? Right, we want audio. We want good audio. So specifically for Kaiso, which is active listening, I feel like I need to get good audio. One of the complaints, back to the complaints, right? Because the organization seemed to not be hearing the complaints of the Calypsonians. And I've been with different Calypsonians over the past few years, as well as my job for things like Monarch, which brought through broadcasting, and backstage, as soon as Calypsonians come off the stage from competing, the first set of comments is always the same. I couldn't hear myself. I couldn't hear the band. I hearing it in echo. The monitors on stage wasn't working. I couldn't hear nothing. There was a recent one where Terry was doing her performance and the mic wasn't working.
Yeah. And some people could say, we train so many people in the last however many years, and they, enter in the space as song engineers and that it could only be sabotage.
But everybody getting sabotage? I hear the sabotage argument, but everybody getting sabotage. So who's sabotaging? At this point, we're trying to say the promoter, the event, sabotaging the competition.
Yeah. They don't really want it to happen. Yeah.
The reason why we chant or we extend as a compliment that Kaiso is because we hear you. We hear your thoughts. We hear your ideas. We hear your vent. We hear your opinion. We hear...
And that's also why we call it back for encore.
Encore.
Because we want to hear
we
more.
wanted to say it again.
Yeah.
Or build on it.
Yeah.
As a validation that you're not going mad with your thoughts.
We share.
And
the
I'm breaking it
sentiments.
down this way so that maybe this can be the conversation or the start of the conversation that birth or rebirth a new wave of Calypsonians that will feed a generation after I'm gone. African proverb, a wise man plants a seed for a tree he know he'll never get shelter from. That's what Kaiso is. Calypso is the rhythm. Kaiso is the subgenre created by that artist for active listening for your audience. I have something to say. So right now, with all the things going on in the world, good, bad, funny, sad, emotional, whatever, you can literally pick 5 in 10 seconds. Write on it. Just write. Just write. Just write on it.
Yeah.
And let your thoughts just go. It's a think piece.
Yeah. Like Gabby in St. Lucia, writing Government Boots,
Right.
was an exploration of militarizing the police force and giving the army in St. Lucia new boots.
Boots.
Yeah,
Boots.
boots and more
Boots
boots.
and more boots.
Which was written about in poetry as well as in that Kaiso, in We Like It So by Sparrow. Literally, he's talking about all the challenges that we have as a society. We have no clean running water, the roads have potholes, but we like it so. And so at that point in time, I think we had NAR in power, so commenting
sounds
on
right.
that commenting on that social happening at that time. Brother Mudada singing about Katrina, Hurricane Katrina, which was a world catastrophe, and talking about how George Bush was not responding to people in New Orleans and apologizing from the Caribbean, saying, New Orleans, I'm sorry, New Orleans, I hear you.
This is what I'm now coming to say. You have to allow critical thinking to really spread itself in your mind
Yes.
before you pick up the pen.
Yes.
Because what we've also been getting a lot of is the same topic expressed in the exact same way.
Same way, yeah. Yeah, which is very annoying and boring, and also at the same BPM, and it's all draggy, and
It's an evolve each verse to say.
it's seven
an-
verses of ugh, I don't want to fucking hear this, and there's no creativity,
Creativity is one thing, but no, where did your mind go? Did
So
it go
if-
anywhere?
If we say, okay, let's take a theme from, let's talk about blackness. We could talk about Shadow having a song about being black and being poor. We could talk about poverty as hell. We could talk about majority of
Shadow's music, yeah.
music of his entire catalog.
He was bowed out grassroots.
Right? We could talk about Brother Valentino talking about being black. And being like Zimbabwe, stay up Zimbabwe. Not just singing about that space, but also singing about what it means to be of African descent in Trinidad and Tobago. We could then talk about Duke. Black is beautiful, and talking about the history of being a black person in Trinidad and Tobago, of being told like black is bad and black is ugly, and then you have again Stacey So was talking about being a black woman supporting black women in her song Respect the Tribe. So that's 4 different versions of singing about blackness or singing
So
about
remember
being
when
an African
the
descent.
Terry now jump out and she's literally talk about black skin,
Yes.
Meghan Markle,
Yes.
Meghan Markle, and What was
Philip
that
My Dear.
Philip, my dear, yeah.
So singing about that.
Once you go black,
And then you never,
never
go,
go
back.
back.
So that's so many
Or even-
explorations of blackness.
even going as far as, oh, maybe that's the thing, Tyker. Maybe they should all dress like monarchs. See, you just raised something there. The Calypsonians, it wouldn't look right, right? No? Okay. The Calypsonians, one of the things when they explored the why they do what they do, it affected who they are, their personalities, and their look. So this was triggered by the Terry. Terry actively made it a statement piece to go with her afro, and has been building on that for years and maintaining that because she is a proud black. The hair alone was a signature thing. One of the really awesome things about the Calypsonians back then is if you had to like draw these characters or describe these characters, it's almost like they weren't people anymore. They were characters. They could tell me that Blakey used to walk with a comb in the pocket on one side and a knife on the next side. Those were part of his identity, and his hair would be slicked back and his suit would be sharp because he was also a tailor and looking good. But you could describe this person, and I get a sense of who he may have been, and that is something completely different to the music.
Yeah.
Because what you believe in and what your thoughts are, Shadow, and him naming himself Shadow, and the way his wardrobe became, his costuming became.
Yeah. And the fact that he had black everything. He had
Everything.
black satin, silk, suede, linen.
Because he wanted to be the darkness of the ground.
Yeah.
So you even seeing where these Calypsonians are not even, they look like, what do they look like? They look like they're going by Ecliff Eli to buy a suit.
Yeah. which is what really
Or
it is.
what the next one? Because you know she liked to buy a gong. The Barbie, the Kaiso Barbie. What is her name? Oh my gosh!
You would think that one of your favorite calypsonians.
Listen to me,
Yeah.
Karina.
Okay, so Bobby, she said.
But that's what she is. Like that's what her. That's the best thing I could say. Her character is.
So Bobby.
She likes the dress up. She likes the dolls up.
Yeah.
Can have not one has to do with what she's singing about, but we know that her character likes that. Oh wow. If I have to think of her in the past tense, I really can't describe her on most of the Calypsonians. No.
Everybody start to wrap their head.
Oh, because that's the sign of consciousness.
Yeah.
You band up your head.
And the whole of
And put
Northwest
all
coming
the
out.
dashiki at the same time.
Auntie Gail had to
all
wash
the
all
belly
them
skirts on. You
costumes.
can't get a belly skirt for the
Yeah,
March
yeah,
Grand
yeah.
Night because all on stage.
Yeah. Big up Auntie Gail one time. And the Northwest costume room.
Oh, and when we do it, Unity,
Yes.
big up Shift
Shakti
Shakti.
dance. They coming out.
Because Ganges and Niles
Niles.
will never dry.
Yeah.
As long.
They have to meet on the Savannah stage. Telling you.
And it will be part of the opening presentation.
Let
for
me don't
the
go there.
March Grand.
Let me don't go. No, pause. Let me don't go there. We're talking about Calypso.
Just says
We're talking about Calypso.
Okay, sorry.
We're talking about Calypso because if we go into anything else, I will end up getting a letter.
So
let
we
me-
love the smell of pre-action protocol letters on the board. Sweetheart, this didn't unlock. You don't want me in a business. I don't want to see a business either.
Lex is still here saying the voluminous garments Terry wears, the bigness and regality. People are saying yes, Karine.
Thank you, really.
All right, we have some folks in the chat here who are thinking, voting Jammettes. We're not going up.
Janet for what?
We're
Wait.
gonna say we're not politically affiliated. Say we're not voting Jammettes. Big up Candace Smith. I don't know if it's my Candace Smith or another Candace Smith, but big up you. I see you in the comments there. Yes, my baby cousin.
Wow, no all Candace business out there. Ketchup and mustard. The Candace, right?
Because
Devoted. Yeah, that was devoted.
it stinks. Mickey's still here. It stinks.
Oh, as somebody in the comments, who is this? AG Christopher. Iowa.
Yes, I was going to talk about the Iowa thing too because he did sing about it, but then they sing a song on him.
They bullied Iowa George.
Yes, they did.
Yes, the reason why Iowa George does sing or he does sing now. Iowa didn't start off so, you know.
Iowa used to sing Calypso.
Iowa used to
Calypso.
sing Kaiso, and
Yeah.
Iowa used to have some fantabulous Kaisos. That man know how to write Kaiso and perform
Yeah.
Kaiso. Don't
Yeah.
watch that man slide at all. He's great. He's great.
And between who was Shadow?
Singing Sandra.
Singing Sandra.
Rash Shorty Eye. All your alleged
The creator
of soca. I'm gonna tell you something. I mind my business long enough to know that information shaky. But I'm gonna break your hearts on another day.
Not when we celebrate any man in the ranch.
We, Miss Lady, I feel it. People French. Big up Miss Richardson. She tried.
I got Miss Keel. She tried as well.
Iowa. I hold in this rabs, and this rabs happened long before I born. I hold in this rabs because after learning this rabs, I said no. If I was send all of them mother too. I was send all them. Listen,
And you know what? We got good brethren Tigress. We got good brethren Tigress also bully Iowa. She sang a song on the man. Only Forbes walk on because it have a spirit who's shaking up this space
been a
right
day.
now.
It's
She,
been a
them
day.
shaking up the space right now. So it stinks. Anyway, Tigress and Rashorty. Who's the next person? Singing Sandra and a couple others.
Bullied.
Gangsta Iowa and tell him, he's singing shit. When he sing one soca tune.
no.
He was singing soca and he was singing Kaiso.
For further context, all them bitches
Sing soca.
was singing
soca.
all kind of soca, smutty soca. All your father the soca, find the Lord. Okay, you know when Jesus go missing or God go missing and they find them back, everything does be a whatever. And change himself. He was Lord Shorty, and then it was Bush, and then he became Ras Shorty, yeah, right?
Yes.
Right. And he came back out woke.
Yes, and he stopped wearing tights,
Right.
showing off all his balls.
Yes. And no. If you hear the stories of how Lord Shorty used to behave.
They have a sky so about him, you know, how Shorty lick she down.
Yeah.
And it was talking about lick she down and
Lick she down. We talking, but maybe not Diddy, but you know.
Wow.
No. No.
Hey, Daddy
No. Hey. But the guy was out there. Fur coats. Gold jewels up. Traveling in full heavy superstar mode. Don't be fooled. He lived the life. He lived the life. And then when you did what you did and you went through your own personal journey, and it seemed that a lot of them went through that around that same period, who catch it under Orisha, who catch it under this, who catch it out, whatever. And they bullied Iowa with his one little song that Iowa said. He said, listen, this singing this and writing this allow me to feed my family.
Because
I've been
all in a
able
pain
to
and
feed
Kaiso.
my family better. If this working, how much years I was doing the other stuff and all I wasn't paying attention. You know who have had similar lines? And I'm not using this as though I'm a fan of the guy. Trinidad Killer. He sing the same song too. Yes, I singing positive thing only because of this claim to one positive thing.
Yeah.
I just need proper writing. That's all I need.
The ones that he sing.
And that take off.
Yeah.
Things started to work out for him.
Say, all right, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Although he broke, but you know.
He opened a new restaurant, eh?
And started sing this. Majority of the people in that camp.
And soon to sing soca, but
Right, let me mind my business.
Calypsonian.
Right.
All of a Calypsonian.
so they bully and there's a video performance for Dimash Gra. Is it that isn't good enough? For Dimash Gra?
Yeah.
He come out on stage hugging Sandra and them.
Yeah.
And they was throwing words at Iowa.
That's good enough.
They proper call that man out by his
Special
government
verse.
name. Yeah, they
Special
give him special verse. They bullied Iowa Judge. No, hear me.
Not a fan.
Yeah, petty me, right? Iowa George estate value now in comparison to all those other Calypsonians. One. And two, the industries. Because all they claim all they was doing that to defend all the Kaiso.
Where is it now? Where is it now? I wonder if he rolling, boy, because, you know.
How you gonna roll? You can't roll. That is consequences of your very actions.
Well, you quoted the man.
The arrogance is a whole different story, but I know what we're here for.
Yeah.
I'm not here for that part. Iowa watch Iowa slight. But Iowa had his feedy family. And he's been able to do that.
Yeah. Supermarket, grocery, radio station. He had a boat. I was selling boat. Saucy selling food.
Even that, isn't that the role of a Calypsonian? All you're talking about now, all you're talking about me and Saucy, what did he do? He pick up his pen and say, I was Saucy selling clothes, and I was selling boat ride.
And Saucy was selling food on Iowa boat. Just selling wings and fries and things.
It seems as though the people you shunned and turned away from the very community and the very industry
Have
were the
thrived.
ones who understood the roles and responsibilities. And even before we read like big people, in Pani let's call it conventional, like conventional category, the juniors, it had real juniors, especially females. Because the boys has end up just going soca. But a lot of the females didn't even bother because of the kind of nastiness. I could tell you, I've been through juniors. The kind of nastiness it does do juniors on several levels. You have decapitated your own self. You have shortened your own expiration. You want to talk about legacy? There's a reason why Sparrow's name is going to exist for a while, because his name could live on through other people. Where are the Calypsonians here and now who part of any community that could continue to speak the name?
Yeah, they're all very cloistered.
And people who part of the Calypso the cultural art form, eh? Not your brethren, not your friend from school or your favorite auntie. Get it together.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't exist in community. They don't record their music. Yeah, they don't like each other.
They don't. They don't.
And they all think that everybody is going to do them something, whether spiritual or, So, this phone lock again,
But we talking through. Okay, so I said we were going to do 4. We did the Calypso. Shans, you're keeping us on time? All right. Soca seems to be one that people not sure how it fits as a calypso. Get it together. Get it together.
Yeah.
But
That same, we like it, so it's a Calypso, but it's on the BPM of a soca.
soca, so we understand the purpose of Calypso. Calypso is for active listeners.
Oh, this song from Fan is a Calypso. Oh gosh, what she say? Upgrade, yeah, man.
I thought was that you said. I said.
Upgrade, yeah, man.
Say thanks, nah. You're welcome.
Say
You're
thanks,
really
nah.
ungrateful,
You're
you know.
welcome. Hey.
Upgrade, yeah, man.
Take away your fiddle, get your hardwood floor.
That is a Calypso.
That is a Calypso.
That's a thought. That's a thing piece.
Yeah.
That's a thing piece.
The one
That's
song,
a Calypso.
The one song she sang in the last 5 years, I'm like, yeah, I like that song. That song, I like that song. As a fan, as a former fan, that song, I like that song. That's one of my favorite songs actually.
So now let's clear up what is soca.
Soca.
Right?
Soca.
Oh, cool. Soca is the soundtrack for Trinbago's carnival experience. Its purpose is to invoke liberating and celebratory movement or dancing. This is our form of holistic release, mentally, spiritually, through rebellion, emotionally, and physically. The physically part, we have underestimated a lot about whole
Yes.
cultural art forms, not just
Yes.
African. But the physical part, maybe it's because I'm in my 30s now, God help me. But the way they held the setup, right? And everybody's held the setup when they cross 30.
God.
Big up everybody who checked the knee lights is on right now. They tell you how to do stretches, you had to do cardio, you had to take supplements, you had to eat this, you had to blah, 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 and you get blah, blah, and blah, blah, and blah, blah. Before these Western clong and them come and interfere with what we had going on, right?
Yeah.
Our natural cultural practices, a lot of it, if you pay attention, was movement stuff. And that
Dancing.
supported lymphatic drainage, circulation, and the releasing of tension.
Your somatic nervous system needs jumping up, needs winding down.
Literally jump up and
And
wind
wind
down.
down. And plenty of all they walking stiff because all their pelvis is loose.
Wow. Shout out to
wine.
Sophia.
You need to whine low.
Or stretch. Those whining classes, all you find Jesus, and the people tell all you that Jesus said don't whine.
Mind you, he was whining very low.
The movement is important. Right? There's a variety of ways to experience.
So, imagine Jesus in the wedding in Canaan. But
What plane?
Remember-
Young brother?
nah.
You feel when you truck hit the road and the road hit the stage.
Nah. I'm gonna tell you just now. Yes.
You feel Jesus is a creepy soca, man?
Maybe you know
All right,
that
okay.
I'll always
All
love
right,
you and I
okay.
won't Let
Okay,
go.
I'm trying to like it.
I'm alone and love you, baby.
Ah!
No. Be mine tonight, girl. Yeah. And then listen to it. He listened to it like
And
if
then he
Jesus
went
again.
into the
Then
hold
I
on
held,
tight. Yeah.
no, then I held her hand. You understand?
There's a chorus. Get to the chorus. Cause that
Hold
when
on
Jesus
tight.
was
Oh, baby,
Baby,
don't let go. Bounce it fast and bounce it slow.
Wide it hard and wide it low. Hands on the ground.
That
and
would
a
have been
wheelbarrow.
Jesus' real job. Anyway, proceed. Yeah, man.
The swag on Jesus and then he tell you don't look down.
And then he say, you want a little water? Sorry, guys.
Smalley, you just watch me, girl. Don't look down. Just watch me. Keep your eyes on me.
You know you'll be fed. All right.
And he wasn't going 50-50. He was doubling and tripling. Hey! Okay. Right.
You actually, that's what you bring into the table. As a carpenter, girl, I make a table. Yes.
Awkward. Focus. Soca, you blasphemes. There's a variety of ways to experience soca music based on how you choose to participate in carnival. Road march, soca to cross the stage. You have groovy soca, which is a slower BPM raise that is usually used for topics of romance and sensuality. While power soca, that's a faster BPM, usually used for high energy performances and enjoyment. I will use a power soca for cardio.
Yeah.
I go in and take a run.
Yeah, run around the savannah.
I need to keep her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the purpose of soca music is for the physical. It is to move. It is to physically move. And it has a culture around that, which is different to the culture around Kaiso. We have the tent and the Kaiso, and we say the refrains and whatever. Soca is different. The culture around a live soca experience is very follow the leader, who is, in this case, the soca artist. Outside of the season, people generally listen to soca music to exercise with or just to create a feel happy atmosphere. That's the thing about soca music. You know who challenged this? And this is not even in our culture. Hey, yeah.
Outcasts.
Hey, yeah. That's not a fun song.
No,
It's not a fun song.
It's not. But a lot of poppy songs are not happy.
It's not. But they do that deliberately because the melody and the music is going to naturally instruct your body, while the lyrics does something else to you, right? We've seen this used in so many other industries, but in soca, it's very clear that once you're moving your body, it's because we're trying to shake off energies. You're shaking it off.
Yeah.
It's a movement thing.
Yeah.
It's
Rock.
a movement thing. We go in.
Yeah.
And that release, the physical part of soca, that release is what's going to send those endorphins, dopamine, everybody. And that's why people call soca music happy music.
Yeah.
Because you can't just sit down. People who will sit down and listen to soca music is always in the context of, I'm trying to improve my day at work because I'm doing a task that is mundane or a chore. I don't want to do it or whatever.
Music,
I put on the music so that it could trick me almost.
To get me any vibes.
But I know the purpose for soca is for, and I must admit that opening line that I had there, one can this one. This
She keep
opening
locking
line,
it, she
no,
keep
as time passes, looking.
Quick boy.
As how you know that play fan you course?
Hey, I sure I can get one of the audience. That's hilarious. I sure she pressed it. So
That opening line of soca being the background or the soundtrack, to the carnival experience. I didn't come up with that on my own. I thought that was really well worded sentence from Older Boy.
Who's all you?
Boy.
Oh,
He said it on an interview. You know, he having a time. But he said it on an interview, and I was like, yep, that's.
sorry,
I love that part of the song though. But yeah, I thought, oh yeah, that's exactly the best way to describe soca. It's the soundtrack for the carnival experience, and it's instructions. It's telling you what to do. Most soca songs have instructions.
Yes.
I'm
Follow
the
Lucas.
fireman. Put
Let's
up your
go.
hand. Put up your hand. Jump on wave. Take out your
Preacher.
right.
Yeah.
Send 5 cent, 10 cent dollar.
Yeah.
Move into the
Dun, dun,
left.
dun, dun,
Move
dun.
into the right.
Dun, 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 hey.
And even if it had no instructions in the song, the performance, we're going to split the crowd. We're going to tell you low. Because I'm about to instruct the audience.
Do the butterfly.
You know what I'm saying?
Shadow. Do the wave. Do the butterfly.
Tap the screen. Alright, sorry.
That's your soca. Tap the screen. Pop, pop. Tap the screen. Pop, pop. Tap the screen. Pop, pop. Hey, and it's brass.
In my list of going through list of stuff, I was even. There are moments where you have the one, and that's where the umbrella of Calypso really reigns. Bungie Garlin, when he did You Want to Rape? Take this. You want
yeah.
to rape?
Which
Take
was
that.
raga soca.
Good. But as a Calypso, that's social commentary.
Yes. Majority of Bungie's early work is social commentary.
Oh, for
though.
sure. But he continued. The verses was very clear on what we're talking about here. Now,
Yeah.
man, say you will take her gun, put it in your bottom, and wow, it's
Yeah.
about our life, right?
Yeah.
And then we go into the chorus that follows the
On a very sweet beat, you know. Ting, 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 ting,
follows the
ting, ting,
instructions of soca. I giving the instruction. Put up your hands up. Wait till you want to read. Wait till the part after. But look around you. How much you take a hand? Want to read? Take this. You want to use the DJ watching and another helping them. Right after that, he gives that. Follow the leader. Give command instructions of soca. And you have moments where you could really look at it and be like, okay. I watched it thing just last night, boy.
I weak.
Right, okay. I'm gonna go right back out, right, but every time he does the licks, he does do this when he live performance.
Well,
And
this is
then
like
you see the audience interact the same way.
Tangalanga.
Kotas.
Licks.
Real quick, let me throw away the two more. Lavways, our form of calypso used as a mystical barrier to hyper focus you on a specific task or deliberately feed a particular emotion through a task. It's specifically used for stick fights. It's chants of short choruses repeated in call and response. Lavways is for the spirit.
Yeah.
And here how I could connect Lavways to
They
spirit.
bring it from you.
But besides that part, Lavways is not set of lines. 2, 3.
Yeah.
Catholics know
Repeated.
when we're trying to get you into a state of hyper focus, there's a meditative state you go into, and so repeating comes into play. So you have your rosary, you repeat that. Muslims have the tasbihs, the Buddhists chant. Everybody have a thing within their spiritual beliefs where meditation and monotony do their dance. Lavways are our version through Calypso of doing that. From the day I hold my baba, they call me a murderer. From the day I hold my baba, my father call me a murderer. From the day I hold my baba, when I dead, bury my clothes. I don't want nobody to cry for me. When I dead, bury my clothes. You had that in your head, right? When niggas banging, when I kill a man, they will feed their rituals that they do. Drag my nose, take some shots, load up, and the headspace is we blasting a very specific type of music that keeps us in the zone on the task ahead. When Christians say they're doing praise and worship, gratitude comes up all the time. Praise him, praise him, praise him. One I tend to go to what's the one I like, Sean? Grateful. In the middle, after the first verse chorus, we have a good piece of time there. The body of the song is literally grateful, 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 grateful. That's staying in repetition. Always how we just talk to we spirit and we soul. And when we are using it for a very specific task. Why we don't acknowledge the love ways in the same respect? I know my child have exam today. I want my child to have a winning, fighting spirit so that I could feed the confidence as they get up in the morning, get dressed, go through the traffic, get into the exam room. If while they were studying or while they're getting them ready and they hear that gallop that I see with them drummers when love is coming right through, that's how they just sing. When I there, oh, we digging ginger today. We digging ginger today. Hey, we going down in the laves, you know, because you just be here. When them drums from the stick fight start to talk to you, them drums are talking before the chanterelles start to sing, you know. And even in that, soca allows our body to get big and moving big and be free and liberating in that sense. The chanterelles, they like to say, Jammettes, women need to be seen and not heard. I am also noticing how, as a society, our voice is getting smaller. The chanterelles used to project; they used to know how to open themselves up. The chanterelles, you used to find them singing the love ways, the biggest voices. And when they're not doing that, you find them, they could, of course, lean into the calypsos as backups or whatever the case is. You throw your voice. And that wasn't just in the calypso, in the calypso, any of them under the calypso umbrella. The parang had it too. Remember, Sprang used to talk about Gold Teeth and the boys, Lara Brothers and them. When you come up and say, hey, I want to sing a parang, he said he used to tell you cross the road. Or you want to sing parang, cross the road. All right, sing.
You had to throw your voice.
You had to throw your voice. You had a little to open up your throat, Paul.
Shannon, you need to go and sing parang.
Shannon is a singer. Right?
Oh, Dominic Christopher said this is a good one. Burning flames, I command you.
I command you to jump, 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 jump. I command you to whip, 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 whip. I command you. I command you. Yes, you. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, yeah.
So that's love ways.
Yes, no.
The next one is extempo. Come on, you don't know your own thing? For your face one. For your face, quick.
I didn't even touch it. I didn't. A lot. A lot. Wow.
Ah, boy. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back.
Just one.
Oh, gosh.
The final one, extempo. This is calypso in freestyle form. There are written melodies with a strict number of bars that is completed by sometimes an audience response. The performer is challenged to improvise lyrics about his opponent. Note the use of the word opponent. But it must not cross the assigned number of bars, because the music will be very exact. You don't get time to go over and no, it ends, right? While extempo is not limited to one melody, there is a commonly used melody for extempo battles. The refrain in this specific melody, which we all know, is Santi Manite, which translates to no humanity, no mercy. Pekong is this. And Pekong exists in all of black culture. I have to keep doing this. In all other fingers. In all of black culture. Where they call it roasting. What's the 9 million names that us call it? All kind of thing.
Shade.
Shade. No, shade is really being nasty. Whichever. Okay, fine. But in all black culture, whether ostracized or not, because like the LGBTQ community, specifically the trans community, and even more specific to that, the ballroom community, you ever hear them queens talk to each other? You swear they hate each other. You would swear they hate each other. But that's part of the languaging, and it's done. Pekong is done that way. It's part of toughening you up, so you're not a friggin' imps. And you're not a Karen and just cry and anybody touch you or do anything because you feel entitled and privileged. It's not that kind of party.
And it's also not bullying.
It's not bullying. And it's from a place of sometimes there's even that, because we offer compliments even in that. Rihanna does it a lot. Somebody sing or does something good, or somebody comes out dressed really nice, really beautiful, and they do a stink face. Oh, God. You're disgusted, eh?
Okay, stripes.
All right, brown hat. Look at you. Okay. That's the kind of things we'll be saying. That Pekong, and that's part of black culture. But when it comes to musically, we know we have things like battle rap, where there's a lot of aggression, but it's in words. And so we have it too in Calypso in the form of freestyle. Off your dome, we're not writing nothing, which in itself is a skill. Being so creative, and you only have that window.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not just our opponent, like to attack somebody with words, but to even talk about things that are happening in society right now. To be able to go off the dome about lights going or not having water, or just to be able to quickly extempo is also an art. To extempo that type of topic is also an art, because it's not just, well, you have a hole in your shoe and your wife leave you, but other things.
There's a butter up in a pass, right?
No. Never.
So for the most part, at least the 4 more common subgenres of Calypso, maybe give it some thought. Find you wise, question you wise. Why are we doing this? Why is this a thing?
And then too, I guess, kind of going to the other subgenres as well too. Because you have parang soca.
Yeah.
Soca,
We start to
parang.
combine things, which is two
is
different
things. And then you have chutney. Chutney soca.
You didn't know parang soca and soca parang is two different things?
You wasn't here that day. That's all right. New leaf. New format.
I like it.
we have chutney soca, then you have gospel calypso. Even though, big up Sean Daniel.
You ever hear that song?
Pan in heaven.
Serious?
Pan in heaven.
That immediately came to
Talk
mind.
about it. Pan in heaven. Hallelujah.
Pan in heaven.
Great
Sing
song.
glory
to God. And it's very interesting that a lot of people who are in the world of the church will talk about, this music being secular, but a lot of their music is based in African rhythms. But that is a topic for
Big
another
up
day.
every gospel station in this country.
So, gospel calypso I think is important to talk about.
I do too.
And then you also have, the creation of the zest, which is also out of calypso music.
Yes, it is.
And then of course our contribution to reggae.
Yep.
Reggae was birthed from the calypso beat, and so think about all of the things that we've really gifted the world so much.
Listen, a little dot, we are incredible.
Such a great great place. And all of the different things. So like even in the different islands of like when you mix the calypso with the French rhythms, um, it's you have the zouk and you have all of the different music and the mixing it with the Spanish and all of these different rhythms and beats that we can carry all the way back to the continent of Africa, because all in you have the compa, you have that. Then you
Nice in that.
also have the music of the favelas. Come on. So, and if you listen to the music, you listen to samba, it sounds
As long as
close to
there's a
calypso.
ghetto in a country,
Yeah.
there's a song that supports it.
And if you listen to all the music back to back to back to back, you realize, oh,
We all cousins.
it's all related and it all stems from
Wanky,
beats.
what was the one we learned from your brethren in what the bricks from Barbados? I trying to remember the name of the genre. Oh, and I had Spooge.
Spooge, yeah.
Spooge. I did not know about Spooge. A Bajan rapper put me on. And I had a nice little rabbit hole journey through
Yeah,
Spooge.
And then an XS from Jamaica to Ska,
Yes, yeah.
right? And then you also have to remember too that majority of the music was learned in different ways. So
Yeah.
for example, we have our tukung tung kutung tukung tung kutung.
Yeah.
But for
They will do varieties
variations of it.
That's
So our Canadian peers who we went by, they learned calypso the other way around.
Tunkutung.
Yeah.
Tungu, 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 tungu. No.
So
I will always go back, right?
But they learn it.
Tungu, tungu.
Tukung-tung, 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 tukung-tung.
Is this one already on the one versus on the first versus the second?
I guess, I don't know. But they learn it back to front. So when we went,
Nice.
the boys teach them how to do it both ways.
Oh, beautiful. And
So-
that's what an exchange is about. That's
Yeah,
nice.
so they get to learn it the traditional way and
Yeah.
then the variation which they already knew.
One of the things that I always encourage trainees who are still trying to find themselves and explore themselves and their Trinbago identity, get involved some way or the other with a folk performing company.
Yeah.
You will learn so much.
Cultural group.
Yeah, you will learn so much in 4 sessions alone. That would make you be like, wow. And you start eventually. I have to say it as people who not in the arts, the way we were raised in it.
Yeah.
But you really start looking at yourself and your life and asking questions. I'm like, why am I doing this? Why have I been doing this?
Yeah.
Now, also keep in mind now that we understand or should understand the umbrella calypso and the rules of kaiso, soca, lavwe, and what's the next one? Extempo. Especially soca, and specifically soca. This getting dressed to go off it, to stand up and stare at the others.
I will never understand that phenomenon, you know.
Oh, they're not that cute, you know. Let me be real here.
No, everybody wants to capture the viral moment. Everybody wants to be TV6. I was going to say the other one, but nobody wants to be that. Everybody
my
wants
money.
to be TV6. Everybody wants to be world star, you know?
While still though being afraid of the screen of the lens. And that's where the shame part comes in. You defeating the
I
whole purpose
could
of why the
never
ancestors left this shit here for
Go
us.
to a fete and stand up. No, I lie. I could because if the audio bad, I go, you know.
Yes. Or if that's not what I come for.
Yeah, if I work it. But even so, I went a little thing, man.
Yeah. All y'all have completely destroyed
Going to
going
fete.
to events.
I would
I've
have
heard
loved
great news
to
about the
be
bungee.
in the
Hard fete?
year
Oh.
of
the years where he,
Insomnia.
well, no, I went to a few of those.
What's up, Fred?
Jesus, I went to a few. I have lived a life. Anyway. Anyway.
I guess I don't remember this week. She remember our wine from
The
Insomnia.
years of the 80s where the bands is live bands. And it's,
Oh, we give thanks that they're
it's
coming back.
fat. It's sweaty, sticky fat. Men,
Sneakers.
gal on
short
my
pants.
neck and thing.
Yes.
You
When I say
understand?
climb on my neck. Oh,
Big
God.
flag wasn't even the thing yet. This is
Oh,
pre.
the neck ain't even strong enough for that.
Yeah,
now.
boy. All neck week because all was dog in the phone.
Raise your head.
You understand? Look up, King. You understand?
Yeah, look up, kid.
You can't even handle the strain. And the place dusty. And them big fluffy rag or them men used to sell in the drag mall in men pockets and thing. Oh yeah, boy.
Yeah,
That
no,
I
it's
miss
too
that.
cute. Oh, it's too cute.
And big up girl like Carla Gonzalez.
Yes. Eh.
Big up she who held her own with the men on the stages.
Yes, she did.
Big up the who would have followed her, Diddy Saucy while Belfont, who really held her own as well. Tongue. And then Chanel Debster. I don't know what's going on now, but in
And
the
she bring
past,
Jesus too, eh?
no, she's singing in wedding, and now she's singing with Brass to the World again.
Oh yeah, she back with Brassy Bill. Yeah.
Them is the they really held their own on the stages. And when the men used to be shirtless, I don't know,
And pantsless.
and pants like, oh God, Eddie
Eddie.
trying to take off his
Eddie
shirt. But Uncle Eddie really need to
Keep your pants.
keep his pants and keep his shirt on and really relax.
Yeah.
He's,
There comes the age where you just stop
yeah.
that.
I mean,
Please stop.
tell Nelson
I'm
that.
not gonna.
And the thing about it, but the
Eddie,
men
as
were
old as
fit.
Nelson taking off his pants so he drop his shorts.
The men were fit. Oh, the men were fit. The men used to wine low in jeans pants, you know.
Well, you have.
In the harbor, it's gonna.
Fit now.
No. But pause. You had men whining down in Jordache jeans. Jordache jeans. Okay.
You're fighting the artists.
I'm not fighting the artists.
Be training every day, going gym every day, and just be doing boxing and things. Go tell the man he ain't fit.
No, but my question is, can you breathe to sing the song?
Big fact.
Because if you're fighting the lyrics, you're fighting the bars, you're fighting yourself.
Who's the fittest? Yo, these for soca artists.
I will
gotta
tell
be
you who I think is the
breathless.
fittest.
Breathless on stage. Who's the fittest?
None. All of them breathless, including
All.
Kes.
I haven't seen Cass alive in a minute.
Kes used to have a little something.
Yeah, but Uncle Sherwin.
Uncle
still
Sherwin!
doing it, boy.
Uncle Sherwin is back.
Still doing it.
Uncle Sherwin is back. With a back.
Big up Uncle Sherwin. As recent as Pan on the Avenue, that
Yeah.
man split the crowd again.
Yeah.
He did it last year, he did it again this year.
Uncle Sherwin. Mr. Killer is the most fit.
I still want to know how strong his neck is, but we'll figure that out. I was going to say lyrical. I want to know how
No.
strong his neck
No.
is, but
Lyrical, no. I know that's your favorite.
the ankle is strong.
Uncle's weak. And he love a texting, you know. He love Rosie. But he don't have, he needs to go by Trevor says. I miss 5-star Akil. I'ma say it every time.
Yeah, 5-star really used
That
to put out.
man used to run around the savannah and sing
Sing,
his songs.
Yes.
It's the only way to do it.
I paid
I
money
wish
to
I
see
could
Patrice.
say, Auntie Destra, how you going?
Jesus, take the wheel.
And that here in this side.
Oh, they clap for me now. Eh? What's that? What? soccer artist now, that is what you're known for.
Embarrassing. Embarrassing.
Big up Carla Gonzalez, you know, because all they can
Big
never.
up she. All I
All they
can
can never. Carla was just in China some days ago still performing. All they can never. Your favorite soccer artist could never. Yeah, when they knew him. She done mash up the hip that she had for singing soca. Before she run up and down stage for soca. She mashed up the hip. Get a new one and done singing in China. All your favorite artists could never. Although I keep in my eyes right now on Anika Berry.
Take a ride on his saddle.
Yeah, but I need to see it. I need to
Reserve the comment. Reserve it. Because we all know what you want to say, but we will reserve the comment.
Well, no.
Let's wait for
I
it
feel
to
like this
unfold.
year was the start of it. We don't unwrap the gifts, so let's
wait for it to
wait and
unfold.
see. Yeah.
We're waiting to see.
She seemed like she could get him a little push. I heard some news about the All Stars. We know Papi has passed. And so changes in the band was inevitable. A few years back, they would have also lost their lead singer. What was the man name? Blacks, right?
Wow.
Not what was the man name. Spread your hands and let go. She forgot.
One of the fun things for me about All Stars was really watching the musicians. I feel like All Stars musicians used to perform on stage during our set.
Yes.
The only people who never used to really move around too much was the hornsmen and
Yeah,
them.
because they can't move too much because they have to breathe.
But Basie always gained them.
Yeah.
Guitars or well, a lot of them would have, gotten to the age now where
Yeah, they're able.
they're enabled. So you have new musicians now joining the All Stars band, and of course, their new frontline, or not new, but their frontline singer remains College Boy Jesse. Who I'm very College Boy Jesse does give you a good performance. Jesus Christ!
I
You're gonna
didn't say
fight
anything.
Jesse does move on stage, boy. I feel like Jesse moving. Jesse moving. I never hear Jesse breathless. You hear Jesse breathless?
I don't know. I have no reference point.
Girl, we went to a fete and watched Jesse in it. We went Jesse event and watched Jesse in it. Oh, I want to know what your thoughts were.
Couldn't tell you. I couldn't see him.
Oh, yes. The lights and fog. That was the next. That's not what we're here for. Focus. Because we would never get anywhere. College Boy Jesse, I'm expecting great things from. I hope he stays putting
Fit.
in the work. Overall, putting in the work. Because he's always hungry to know how can he improve as a performer. Not as a soca artist. This is my personal thing. He is constantly seeking how to be a better performer. And very few soca artists that get that energy from. If
Right.
at all now.
Understood.
Right? So I look forward to things from him. But I'm putting this out there. I hear they're looking for a female soca artist right now. So if you want to Shannon,
What you for?
sing a little
We go
soca now.
manage you. We go manage you.
That
is not your man.
that is your manager.
Because we have to get your male manager.
Yes, because how could you be in the soca industry and not managed by
By a
your
man.
man?
Come on. Well, we need to get our man. All right. Everybody wants to be Shannon, man. Karen, woyoy. Where's the scene?
No, but I see problem. Huh? I see friggin' problem. Me, I see problem. All right, Cardi, be in the corner
I
here.
never said anything.
Am I the drama?
Probably.
What the comments say?
Hi. That's all I say. Karen say you miss sweet.
I doesn't know what to do with that information. I feel
I
like
think people miss the banter. They miss the energy.
so they like boring is what they say.
Or they miss sense.
Yeah, the
That's
money
what
really
Shannon
blowing
said.
through.
They miss sense. It's, you know what? Power to the people. It stinks.
That does make me feel uncomfortable.
That people miss you.
Yeah. Because it does make me feel as though you want to be around my mom, and that does trigger.
You
all
could
the-
unpack that on your own side. Sharon. She's a friend of the show.
All right. Hello, Auntie Camille.
Listen, we've had a lovely time, ladies and gentlemen. I enjoyed being back.
So, are you going to be here again next week?
I'll
Are we
think
doing
about
this
it.
again next week?
God, it's stressed. It's stressed.
I know this one ain't get no music. We just talk.
We have no music to give you all because
Because we fired the DJ. Holy hell.
no, we didn't fire the DJ.
It turns out he wasn't good at all.
We would like the videos to stay up on the
He's so
internet.
sickening.
So if we play people's music, it's their copyright.
I
you know?
don't like the DJ.
So we really don't want to get copyright stricken
He's annoying.
on YouTube. So we have actually
I mean, I'm willing to sell him.
music playing on the hair by Macasmia Stick Wanky. Macasmi Wanky.
Macasmi Wanky. That ain't even our real name.
That's him in the back there. That's his music playing.
Imagine you go on an event and the host have a stutter and trying to say that name. Next we have DJ Macasmi. See? How you gonna take the DJ serious? How? Hottie! And that's how I think we're gonna end the show.
No, I didn't. It was not choking, or it really was a the. I was spitting for the ages. Oh God, that week.
My name is Gerelle.
What a lovely Monday evening. It's been a joy to spend this evening with you all as we celebrate Calypso History Month.
Oh, yeah, listen to some calypsos now. Go and look for something. Forget Sparrow for 2 seconds and have others.
And tag us on Instagram, 868
yes, we
Jammettes.
log back in today for the first time.
We found it. We got a new password.
For the level of mind my business happened on it.
Oh God. Eh.
But really, no, if you find a little calypso that you're liking, it could fall on. We have 4 categories you could explore now. You know how to drink like a
Kai, so, soca, lavway, and extempo. And you can tag us in it and we will repost and we will, engage with you all on
Let
the
your
social
mind
media.
go any thoughts of it and share a thought on your socials and a quick story and tag we have a little, it might be something interesting.
Tete-a-tete, you know?
Tete-a-tete, that's the word of the day. Word of the week.
I guess so. Means a little conversation.
Tete-a-tete, a little conversation.
It's French. Ugh.
Wow, that French could follow me, ain't you, boy?
Yep.
Right. Shannon, you have anything you want to tell people?
Turn on the microphone.
Wow.
Come, where's
Shannon, see how look at the hollow.
where is Monkey's microphone? Talking Monkey Mike there and tell us. Holy Macasmia Stick.
Kewan, Wanky, Thomas,
Batiste.
Baptiste. You have anything you want to tell
We
the people?
have 2 years
Mr.
of
Baptiste?
inside jokes, people.
Oh, you all have a lot of inside jokes to catch up on. Quick, you gotta be quick on it now, eh? Just know, Wanky's full name is Kewan Wanky Thomas Batiste. That's what we call him from now on.
It sings. She's Gerelle Forbes. I'm Tyker Giselle. And this has been a lovely Monday. And we may see you next week, Monday. We're going to get it together, guys.
We will.
We're going to get it together.
We will.
It's been a whole
we could
vibe.
promise them at least October, can we?
Today was great. This has been 2 Jammettes from the Jammette Yard. It stings.
Raw!
And unfiltered for the Calypso History Month. A special episode.
Just for the record, Shannon is who named it 2 Jammettes behind a tent. Eh?
Beyond the tent. End the live. End the live hottie.
2 Jammettes beyond the 10 raw.